Hello, hello, JMC Village and family, and all those joining us again for story time with JMC. Last week was our first story time to celebrate National Read a Book Day. I think that was a National Reading Day, one of the two. But we started this for the month of September to bring you a new story that relates to fostering and that can start discussions in your house about what's some of the issues that foster children face, as well as how to tackle some of the hard conversations and the tough topics for some kiddos to understand in the world of fostering. So this week we have the fabulous Aryn reading The Good Dinosaur by Bill Scollon. This is based on the movie The Good Dinosaur. It is a little golden book, which is a common producer of books that are really awesome to read to your kiddos. So let's tune in with Aryn to The Good Dinosaur.
Hey everyone, I'm Aryn, and thank you for joining us for a second week of Story Time with JMC. Today I will be reading The Good Dinosaur with you guys. All right, let's get started. Arlo lived on a farm with his family at the base of Clawtooth Mountain. The little dinosaur was eager to help out so he could add his footprint to the family silo, but he was easily frightened of everything. Still, Papa was sure his son would one day earn his mark. But when Papa suddenly passed away, Arlo felt lost. Without Papa's help, how could Arlo ever make his mark? Life on the farm was hard. The family struggled to harvest their crops before the start of winter. One day, Arlo saw a critter taking the family's food. Arlo knew Papa would have wanted him to scare the critter away. That's how he could earn his mark on the silo. Arlo chased after the critter. The two struggled, and Arlo fell into the river. Arlo tumbled over and over in the rushing water and finally washed ashore, far from home. Arlo was alone and scared, but he remembered Papa saying that he could always follow the river home. Arlo began to walk along the winding river. He was tired and hungry. The critter appeared again, and it had brought him fresh berries. They were delicious. The critter and Arlo soon became friends. They had fun together, blowing gophers out of holes, and they took care of each other as they tried to find their way home. Arlo named the critter Spot. One night, Arlo ran through a meadow of tall grass. Hundreds of flickering fireflies rose into the sky. Arlo had learned all about fireflies from Papa. He missed Papa a lot. Spot understood how Arlo felt. Spot had lost his family too. The two friends were glad they had each other. The next day, Arlo and Spot continued on their way. Suddenly, a pack of pterodactyls attacked them. 3 fearsome T-Rexes roared and scared the pterodactyls away. Would they attack Arlo and Spot too? Luckily, the T-Rexes were friendly. In return, Arlo and Spot helped save their herd of longhorns from raptors. Later, around a campfire, the T-Rexes told Arlo he'd shown real grit. Arlo had been scared, but he had proved that he was brave. He was proud of himself. Papa would have been proud of him too. The next day, Arlo saw Clawtooth Mountain. He was almost home. Arlo couldn't wait for his family to meet Spot. But the pterodactyls attacked again. They grabbed Spot and flew away. Arlo tracked them to the river and roared a mighty roar, scaring them away for good. A big storm was brewing, and Spot was soon caught in a flood. Arlo jumped into the river to save his friend. Arlo held Spot tight as they plunged over a waterfall. The two friends came to shore at the base of the falls. They were safe, and Arlo was glad that their journey would soon be over. As Arlo and Spot went over the mountain pass, a human family came into view. Spot was curious and went to them. Arlo knew what he had to do. The dinosaur drew a big circle around all the humans. This would be Spot's new family. Arlo was sad to say goodbye to his friend, but he had to let him go. Spot was where he belonged, and that made Arlo very happy. Soon, Arlo was back where he belonged, too. Back on the farm with his family. Arlo had found his way home, and he knew he had earned his mark. Papa would have been very proud. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining in with me, and make sure you tune in next week for another week of story time with JMC. Bye, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. She is an amazing case manager and support here at the JMC Child Placement Agency. I think that is a wonderful book to highlight some of the questions and some of the struggles that kiddos in foster care can go through, whether it's talking about kind of adopting a Spot into your life, someone who's going alongside you that has a lot of similarities and as well differences, whether it's finding the same situation that kiddos are placed in, traveling from place to place, finding your T-Rexes. Who are your T-Rexes? The people that are helping support you get back to where you are, and as well as fostering a village of support we like to provide here at JMC. And then how can, your children, you help the people traveling back to their family or that are in a temporary situation getting cared for by their different relatives. Arlo had a death in his family, and he was trying to process the grief as well as succeed in being a part of the family still. These are, can go into issues that our kiddos face, being a part of a new family or a family dynamic that's changed. So the Good Dinosaur, it is available, I think, we got a copy on Amazon or at your local library, but it's also available on Disney Plus as a movie to watch, if movie night as well as reading. This is a great book. It's nice and short. You can go through it a couple times and talk about how your life or how a kiddo in your placements situation relates back to some of these themes. So who's your Spot or Arlo? Let us know how you enjoyed this book. If there's any books you have that you love to read with your kiddos, talk about some of the issues or some of the great things around fostering. And let us know how you liked Storytime with JMC and if we should continue another some other time. So thanks for joining in, and hope you all have a good evening.